Right now, we've been hovering around 6% of the Great Lakes.
Chances are you've heard the name Ginger Zee. Nearly every morning, she says good morning to America with a smile.
Let's go ahead and get a check down a little closer to home.
She's the chief meteorologist for ABC News, the first woman ever to hold that title at a major network.
Come up the steps with me. This was where a front door was.
She travels the country, staying ahead of the storm. She's a published author, a mother of two, and even dabbles as a musician on the side. But what you might not know is she's battled severe depression nearly her entire life.
I not only had suicidal thoughts, but eventually had suicide attempts.
Her struggles with mental health go all the way back to elementary school.
My parents had divorced. I was lacking control, and I turned, well, I say I turned, my body and my mind turned to anorexia.
She carried it into adulthood. It was present with her every step of the way.
It would be like I'd wake up and the world was black. I couldn't see anything more than I needed to take my own life.
That may be surprising to hear from one of America's favorite forecasters, but mental health doesn't discriminate based on age, race, gender, or success. In fact, even as Zee traveled that path to success, her struggles followed her along the way, from Flint to Grand Rapids and beyond. And just before she got her big break at the top, Zee says the darkness was too much to handle.
I say dark only now because there is a lot of lightness in that dark, because I've had the chance. I'm the lucky one where I had the ability to get help. I had access to it. I had the financial ability.
Just 10 days before she was set to start her dream job at ABC News and GMA, her depression reared its ugly face.
I was, again, for the third time in my life, feeling like I wanted to take my own life. The fortune that I had in that moment was that I had this huge opportunity ahead of me in my career. In that moment, I finally said, I need help.
A decision she says ultimately saved her life.
That inpatient therapy is where I got my correct diagnosis. It's where it set me up with the right type of therapy. And from that moment forward, I have been healing the whole time, and I haven't stopped. With my tools and tons of therapy, been able to get to a place where I wake up and mornings can be gray, not necessarily black, where I feel it. I can actually see the depression. And the moment I see it, I write it down. I text my husband, I text my mom, I text my therapist. That's my first line of defense, my team.
With her support team securely in place, Zee has written a book and is more than willing to openly talk about her journey.
All I want out of talking about things like this is for everyone to have the access to the type of therapy that they need.
She shared this picture with millions of social media followers. It says, "This photo always breaks my heart. This was during my first real job on TV at WEYI. This wide, forced smile was not long after my second suicide attempt. Of course, no one at work knew. I was a master at hiding my mental health issues, especially from myself." She hopes her message of get help reaches others with similar stories.
You wouldn't go and try to fix your broken leg by yourself. You wouldn't go in a closet and be like, well, I'm not going to tell anybody that I broke my leg. You'd go to the hospital. You'd get your broken leg taken care of, and then you'd go to physical therapy to keep taking care of it.
And while her story is undoubtedly already reaching millions of adults, it's helping children that Zee hopes is the legacy she'll one day leave behind.
I would love for everyone to have access in second or third grade to mental health. We all take health class, but like, what if we learned the emotional regulation and the tools in school? And every single person had access to this, to the stuff that it took me 40 years to learn. How great would it be to instill that in children?